More students head back to school this week. How can parents better prepare their kids outside of the classroom? Experts say it starts at home.
Yes, Dr. Taryn Marie Stacekel is here, founder of the Resilience Leadership Institute, and her book, The 5 Practices of Highly Resilient People, is a Wall Street Journal #1 bestseller. Congratulations on that, first of all.
Thank you so much.
So let's talk about things that students, young people worry about. One of them is they're worried about stuff.
That's right. We worry about worrying.
Yeah. Well, how do you get them to stop worrying?
Well, I don't think we can really stop worrying, but our role as parents is not to teach kids not to worry. It's to teach them how to manage their worry, how to worry well.
Well, she brought in, well, that's called a worry box.
This is a worry box.
This is a somewhat ornate worry box. I just thought it was going to be a cardboard box. This is a little cage. So what's the idea?
I thought it was a birdhouse. It's beautiful.
So the idea is we can ask our children to essentially decorate a worry box, something that's personalized to them. So this is just an example of kind of a clear box with some things inside. And then what kids can do is, rather than telling them to not worry, tell them to write their worries down on a piece of paper and then put them in the box and release them.
I see what you've
so
done.
they don't have to carry the worries around with them. They know they're safely stored in the worry box.
You wrote this down on a piece of paper. This student's worry is, I won't make friends.
I won't make friends.
At school.
Yeah.
So what would you do? Fold that up or wad it up and stick it in the box?
Yeah, however you want to do it. So you can essentially ask your children to decorate their box and then just write down the things that they're worried about. They can share the worries with you or not, and then they can fold it up and put it in the worry box. And it's not that the worry doesn't exist anymore. It's just that, like, when we write in a journal as adults and we put things down on a piece of paper and we can kind of leave it, this is the child version where they can say...
would that work?
I mean...
Up to 6, 7, 8?
I think it works through adulthood into
Really?
college. Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because what we're doing is we're teaching ourselves and our children to basically kind of time box our worrying. Rather than carrying things around, we're saying, okay, I'm going to spend some time on it, and then I'm going to let it go.
And then another one is the difference between reacting versus responding.
Yes.
What is that difference?
Well, so this is really important for us as parents and to teach our children. So today's the second day of school here in Philadelphia for Philadelphia Public Schools. And so lots of things are happening. We could be running late to school. And so as a parent, when the kids aren't paying attention, when they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, then we have an opportunity to respond rather than react. So what responding looks like is, first of all, stopping, taking a breath, and even if we might want to lose it or get angry, to ask ourselves, is it worth it?
I don't understand the difference in those words. Reacting is more, as opposed to responding, a little more calm.
Yeah, reacting is like a knee-jerk reaction.
But you say in your book that self-love starts at home. But what does that mean?
That's a great question. So we end up, the voices, the ways that we talk to our children, that becomes the voice in their head. And so our children won't necessarily take our advice, but they will follow our actions. And so the way that we talk to our children and the way we treat ourselves is ultimately how our children will grow up to think about their own value and to love themselves.
I admire you.
Yeah.
So what you talk about supportive networks, does that mean other family members or teachers?
Yeah. So
or?
supportive networks is about how are we kind of thinking about at the outside of school, building out those networks of people, those kind of layers of folks that are going to be supportive for ourselves as parents and also for our children. And so one of the things that we can do is sit down with our children and talk to them about who are the people in their lives that they feel like they can go to, have a conversation with. This is also a great opportunity to talk about how kids are making decisions about how they're making friends. I'm convinced that to be a good friend, you know, is a way to have good friends. And so what are those qualities that kids have that they can offer to their friends, and what are they looking for in friendships?
I can see it could be relatives. An aunt and uncle, grandparents, family, friends even.
Right.
Doctor, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Congratulations on that book again.